we're going to see just how crazy I am as I try to knock out 2 videos in one day. There's been quite a bit of interesting information coming out of the world of Star Trek lately. We got our premiere of Discovery Season 5. We got some information coming through about Paramount Global and some juicy news about Section 31. Yes, this is the Star Trek Void, Volume 36, where I try to fill the gaps between new episodes with some news, information, and hopefully a little entertainment. And I do apologize because this video was meant to come out last week. Actually, the next 2 videos worth of information all could have come out last week, plus some stuff that came out this week. But I'm splitting up all the stuff I've gotten in the last 10 or so days into 2 videos. Yes, I'm trying to do 2 for you all today. Let's start off with a happy birthday. First off, from TrekMovie.com, a happy birthday to Adam Scott, who played the con officer on USS Defiant in Star Trek First Contact. There's a lot of hashtags going with this guy, starting with Parks and Rec, Severance, Party Down, and Big Little Lies. Yeah, this guy, when I see his face, I do not think helpful person on the bridge of a starship. He's usually playing some sort of antagonizing, annoying, character. So it's nice to see, he's playing a nice guy, though not for long. Also, TrekMovies.com, a very happy birthday to Sophia Boutella, who played Jayla in the 2016 movie Star Trek Beyond. Not one of my favorites, but I really did enjoy her character. I can see why she got the part, and quite frankly, she really was sort of the most enjoyable part of the movie, although I did kind of enjoy the Bones Spock interactions. Another TrekMovie.com, on her birthday, remembering Trailblazer Gabrielle Beaumont, the first woman to direct Star Trek. She helmed 9 episodes across 3 series: Star Trek TNG, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and Star Trek Voyager. So very nice to honor her contribution. And another remembrance, this one also Trek Movie. We are sad to hear that actress Barbara Baldava has died at age 85. This one, sadly, is not a birthday. It's an announcement for a passing, provided by TrekMovie.com. We are sad to hear that actress Barbara Baldwin has died at age 85. She played Angela Martine in Balance of Terror and Shore Leave, and Lieutenant Lisa in Turnabout Intruder. Our deepest condolences to her friends and family. So yes, we thank her for her contribution, and it's terrible news to see that we've lost yet another one of our own. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, there's more birthdays and remembrances, Katie, yeah, that's going to be in the second video. I needed to split this stuff up a bit so that I could give you the most information as I could in the most timely manner. And so next up, I've got some information about someone who used to work on Star Trek, not so much these days. This is a bit of good news. Ronald D Moore to receive the Outstanding Television Writer Award at the 2024 Austin Film Festival. This information is brought to us by Outlander Stuff. As you may or may not know, I do Outlander updates as well on this channel, and this is a repost from at 2.bed.org.2.sleep, and that's an annoying name, but good for them on some ingenuity. Ron Moore is receiving the Outstanding Television Writer Award at the 2024 Austin Film Festival. Link to the Variety article. So you have to go to her account to read the rest of the article. No, you don't. I'll have it below for you. No worries. But really well done. Ronald has obviously been a huge contributor to the franchise over the years. These are his writing credits: Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Star Trek First Contact, the movie, of course, Star Trek Generations, the movie, of course, and Star Trek The Next Generation television series. He's got tons of writing on all of those. Plus, he's been a producer on Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and Star Trek The Next Generation. But we go back down here, you can take a look at his writing credits, are kind of insane. For All Mankind, Outlander, Star Wars Underworld, Electric Dream, 17th Precinct, Caprica, Virtuality, Battlestar Galactica, The Face of the Enemy, Battlestar Galactica, Razor Flashback, Battlestar Galactica, The Resistance. So yeah, some Battlestar Galactica stuff going on here. I also kind of want to point out that he also worked on Roswell, which is like one of my guilty pleasures. It's teen alien drama, and I find it cute when I'm kind of looking for something where I don't have to think too much. Although that's mostly because I've seen it so much, I kind of have a lot of it memorized. Not as much as Star Trek, but a fair amount. Moving right along, here is a good throwback photo that came through my feed, and I just really wanted to share it. This is from Will Wong, 1971. Our Gates McFadden being amazingly talented at 16. You could barely recognize her there until you look at the face and those eyes. She is pretty unmistakable when it comes to her eyes. So this is an incredible picture and a really cool find to share. Thanks, Will. And this is Will Wong again. Because we had First Contact Day last week, what did you do for First Contact Day? I basically felt miserable and sat in bed. But this is for Happy First Contact Day, a little First Contact poster treat for you all. This is one of our Letters for Legacy in-house artists who made this, and just fantastic. Always makes these really incredible posters, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did, because now we're down to, well, the news. Some of it good, some of it interesting, all of it worth hearing. First up, let's talk about Paramount Global and the insanity that is the drama of these shares up for grabs, and Skydance. This article posted by trekmovie.com, gotta love those guys. Skydance reportedly looking to supercharge Paramount Plus, potentially merge it with another streamer. And this is not real new information if you've visited this channel regularly. We talked about this being a pretty big possibility if Skydance were the company who purchased those shares. The difference being now, instead of it being up to a couple of different companies to decide who wants to go for it, Skydance is got exclusive talks with Paramount Global. These talks had a set limit of 30 days from what I understand, which means they're just over 20 now, because this was first reported again last week. Here we see it says Skydance Media is in exclusive talks to take over Paramount. They are apparently planning on keeping Paramount Plus, but will make some changes. The plan calls for Skydance to supercharge Paramount's streaming capabilities, improving personalization with better algorithmic recommendations and making it more efficient through better deals with data providers. And according to the same report, I am quoting from this article, the post-Skydance Paramount merger plan would call for a teaming up with pardon my wording there, with another major media company for streaming joint ventures in the USA. And one of the examples given in this article is, I think, and I'll have to go look, I think one that I considered when they were talking about possibly teaming up with another streaming service to provide more choices for those who are paying for the service. And that is this. A merged Paramount Peacock streaming service could be a winner, according to new consumer research reported today by Variety. 45% of U.S. consumers say they would be interested in such a bundle. Analysis from consulting firm FTI Delta estimates a bundled service could bring in $1 billion more than the current combined annual revenue of both services. The idea, of course, being that this would be a win-win situation for both if it should happen. So again, I wouldn't have a problem with it because I already have Paramount. I already have Peacock. This might actually save me a couple of bucks and possibly give them the extra revenue to continue giving us shows that I'd really like, which I will talk about not at the end of this video, in the other video that'll be coming out later today. Now, it's important to note, and the article notes this as well, that this is not finalized. These are discussions happening with a time limit. So we are awaiting news to find out if anybody's given it the thumbs up. We want to know how that's going to affect not only the current content, but the future content we're all hoping and looking for, such as those movies that we've been told will be happening, Picard and the reboot sequel and prequel. Though it's not really a sequel, it's movie 4. More on that in a minute. Basically, the article says that right now it's an idea and people are talking about it. The shareholders have to be in an agreement to make it happen. So we'll hear more later, hopefully. Now, how about a little bit about that new premiere we got last week? Mostly because it was really good, but also because of this. Shared by trekmovie.com, Star Trek Discovery director fesses up to unplanned cameo in episode. And yes, if you didn't see it, you should probably fast forward. I'll give you a counter here. This is where you should fast forward to. But in what's almost a tradition at this point, one of the creators ended up being in a shot. And you can see him right there in the photo. It's kind of great, to be honest. Accidentally becoming a part of Star Trek history. Star Trek Discovery director fesses up to unplanned cameo. But yeah, Burnham and Saru running through the forest. Actually, it's more fun to watch Saru run through the forest. I love when they do that. And then one of the creators accidentally ends up in the shot. And there he is. They put a little helpful arrow in the picture. I couldn't do anything better, so I'm just using theirs. This is, of course, an article by trekmovie.com. And here we go. It's just funny. I'm sorry that they accidentally ended up in. But he shouldn't feel too bad because it's kind of a tradition at this point. Somebody's going to end up in the shot somewhere that shouldn't be. It happens more often than we know. As seen by this wonderful tweet shared by Jorg Hillebrand Also, fantastic fan. I think I've had his posts up on here a few times. There's indeed a crew member briefly visible in this shot as Star Trek Discovery's Under the Twin Moons, Episode 2, as first pointed out by MD Builds. Well, let's just say he's in good company. And Jorg came and gave us quite a few examples. Let me scroll down just a bit. And here we can see, yeah, okay, so we've got a fella up here that we know from episode 2. And then if we look at some movie images, we've got these guys who are improperly dressed for the occasion. And then you would think at first nobody's here until you look in the reflection. Now, I mean, this is a cool place to have a photo because we also get a little bit of Nimoy. But yep, in the reflection, there is somebody. And I'm taking a guess that this is supposed to be a shot where they're panning through the hall. So that's why it's fuzzy, I guess. And I don't think this person is properly attired to be aboard a starship, do you? No, I don't either. So it was a mistake, but he's in great company and gives us a little something fun to talk about as Trekkies, doesn't it now? Moving right along. This one is a Trek Central share, and we remember this image from last week, right? Update section 31 in 2024. Actor Joe Pingu's, and I'm so sorry, I have no idea how to actually pronounce that properly. Character is Dada No, which is easier to pronounce, as revealed in the official image credit alongside Michelle Yeoh. There they are. It also notes streaming on Paramount 2024. Not definitive, but we hope that means a release for Section 31 this year. That's not really a surprise, but we will take this information because it does give us a little more than we had last time, at least that I saw, which is the name of the character and actor that's in that seat right there. Still say he's got an awful lot of implants. Don't think he's a Borg, but it's an interesting, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Especially since now we're being told that this is going to be a different kind of Trek. This article, TrekMovie.com, says Section 31 movie director says it's a different Star Trek, plus new character details revealed. That new character detail we already got. And I have no problem hearing it's going to be a different kind of Star Trek as long as nobody at any point complained that it was too Star Trek. That just irks me. Now, as we know, Michelle Yeoh was in Discovery and really enjoyed her time in Star Trek so much that she was happy to try and do a series. However, her time just isn't free enough to do such things. She's been appearing in movies that have won Oscars and doing lots of different projects. I think the next one I heard she's up for is also Wicked. I can't wait to see that. But she was really interested in being a part of Section 31 somehow. And because of that, we get a movie instead of nothing at all. And I think I'm particularly enjoying this quote because it shows the passion in which she put into her performance, just in general, but, you know, Star Trek. Michelle came in that very first scene that we shot, and it was like she had never left. It was incredible. Actually, that was literally what I told her. Wow, it feels like we just stopped filming with you yesterday. And so you know what happens in that very first scene is, oh wait, I can't give that away. Yeah, that's not fair. That's not nice. And we've got a quote in here where Michelle is letting us know what this Star Trek film feels like to her. Yeoh has described it as Mission Impossible in space and likened the tone to the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Now, I do recommend this article for a thorough read, but other than what we already know, the characters and what we believe she's doing, we did get the official synopsis. Once again, I'm going to go over that. Emperor Philippa Georgiou joins a secret division of Starfleet tasked with protecting the United Federation of Planets and faces the sins of her past. She's got quite a few sins of her past, so I think they could probably pick and choose. It's not just that she was the emperor and, kind of ruthless. She's probably did quite a few things, both in the future and the past and the other universe. It's going to be kind of a mess. We'll have to see exactly what they pick and choose to have her face. And in the final quote I'm going to share here, confirmation of what we'd all heard. Last week we wrapped filming Section 31. I can't begin to describe what a trip it was to play in the Star Trek universe. For now, enjoy this official image, which features the real deal Michelle Yeoh official and my backside. More love and stories to come. What a cracking still. So this is what the fella would look like without the makeup, I'm guessing. But that's all we got in the still. Not a huge clue. The article does finish off letting us know that there is no release date. We already are aware of that, but we've been fairly sure for quite a while that 2024, the end of this year at some point, we will be getting that on our small screens. Now, as far as these guys, that's still, yeah. Breaking, Paramount Pictures is moving on from Star Trek 4 after 8 years of announcing it. Now they're announcing Star Trek 5 film instead. It's still going to be the fourth film. I don't know. Are they going to like skip? And I don't know what exactly that means, other than maybe that whatever storylines they thought they were going to do have been tossed out the window and they're starting from scratch. That's my best guess. Either way, I'm going to be really depressed because our new Chekhov is gone. But now, of course, there is a correlating article to go with this. I'm not even going to bother go through it. The stars didn't even find out about this announcement until like everybody else did, so nobody told them up front. No one's really thrilled because the last time that everything was announced, nothing really happened. But you never know. Maybe this time things will be different. Maybe things will go well. Maybe the movie will go ahead. And half the reason that people want to do this is because of all the nostalgia. People were so excited with Picard's third season and the reunion of the TNG crew. Also, Maverick with Tom Cruise coming back to make yet another Top Gun movie. That did really well. So they're kind of hoping to live off that nostalgia and be able to move the story forward. We're all just going to have to cross our fingers and see what happens. But this is all in that article. There will be a link below. Feel free to read through it yourself. Not any major news in here, just that, they're working on a movie and going to call it number 5 instead of number 4. We'll figure out what that means someday. And that is all for our first video catch-up of what's been going on. If you're wondering where I am and why it's here, I've been sick. This is literally where I've been sleeping and living the last 4 or 5 days. Was too sick to record Friday, too sick to record Saturday. Tried to record something Sunday, did not work out. Couldn't even hardly talk until yesterday, and so we're doing this. I hope you enjoyed this catch-up, and do expect a second video out today, later on in the afternoon, evening most likely. If you enjoyed this catch-up... I know it's a little weirder than I usually do things. I do apologize. I just want to make sure I get the information for those of you who do rely on me to share what I know so that you can try to be up to date on all the crazy rumors and what's going on. If you did enjoy this catch up, please don't forget to give me a like for this video. Subscribe to the channel. I swear I'm usually way more on my game. Comment below if you feel like letting me know just how much I'm not on my game. Thanks so much for joining me. Please do check out some of my other videos here if you do want more information on Star Trek or Outlander. As always, thank you to my Patreons and to my members. I do appreciate your extra support, especially when I'm just not myself. Thanks so much for watching, and look out for that second video today, and I'll see you there. We got a new episode or new series started. No. I reposted, and this is a repost from 2.bed. And this is a tongue tying.